Isaiah's having problems at Orchard Farm.
Looking to hire a swordsman?
Play card pairs.
There is an important quest card at the guild for you.
Do you have a donation? History is an important part. Why don't you stay? Can any of you tell me who built the ancient pillars at Lookout Point? Yes?
The people in the Old Kingdom, sir.
That's right. They once ruled all of Albion and the ruins of their city. The kingdom was founded by a great lord named Archon, who united Albion, but over time, the sword began to corrupt him, and the kingdom fell into... Strange monuments were built to focus the magical power of the kingdom and but at the very height of its power, the old kingdom collapsed, and Archon... What happened to them? Nobody knows.
How are you? Look at him.
Any books for us today here? The final volume of the... Thank you, hero. I'm sure we can put this to good use. Thanks to this kind hero, today's lesson is from Volume 3. If trolls ruled the land and dragons the skies, then a few men have ever seen a kraken, and fewer still have lived to tell the tale. Since before the times of the Old Kingdom, their tentacles can grow to be over a brave sailor once drove away a kraken by hacking off one of those... do you have... What's this? The pale... Why don't you stay and listen? There was once a lord who thought himself good with an arrow, until people saw that his lies ran right through to his marrow. Many months in the cells of Bargate he spent, plotting his redemption. And once he was free, he hunted all evil without exception. One day he met his match, a fowl, and he did not die from its bite, but his curse. He became one of those creatures, and pale as snow was his fur. To kill him came then a red-caped woman, a true connoisseur. A silver arrow pierced his blackened heart and sent him to his grave. And so he died in infamy, without the acceptance he craved. You have done our school such a great service. I don't know if we can ever... I do have a little something, and... Well, I know it's not much, but... we used it in our production of The Mage's Apprentice. But it was a little large for our... Any books for us today here? A little macabre, perhaps, but the tale of Maxley. Why don't you stay and listen? There once lived a hob, and Maxley was his name. He was that rarest of hobs, one with a brain. Making his bed in a stream wasn't for him. He'd rather live in a village, there among men. One day he decided to travel to town. He slew a great noble and put on his gown. In Bowerstone by all was he complimented. And though short of stature, he stood proud and erected. But Maxley forgot what he was and grunted hello. And when the men heard his voice, all they did know. They called out for guards, who lopped off his head. It stuck on a spike, dumb and ugly and dead. So when you're about to open your mouth, remember Maxley the Hop. It's better to be thought an idiot than to be killed by a mob. Do you have a Oh, Volume 2 of The Creatures of Albion. Good.
So big.
Why don't you stay and listen here? Now, trolls are an ancient race. They have the strength of many men. And get too close, and they will jump onto the ground with such force that the shockwaves can shatter. But trolls are also slow, lumbering creatures and rarely move. If you're lucky, you won't be crushed to death by the boulders they throw after you.
Sabre.
Any books for us today, hero? Could you spare the northern wastes? Thank you, hero. Do any of you know what lies beyond the 9 seas? Yes?
The Northern Wastes.
Well done, Sue. Legends say that Jack of Blades first appeared today. Its ancient cities are buried deep beneath the ice, and that the people of the Northern Wastes will awaken when Albion is united once. Ah, hello. Why, that's The Creatures of Albion, Volume 1. A perfect way to learn natural sciences. Why don't you Today, we'll be studying Volume 1 of The Creatures of Albion. Now, who here knows what screamers are? I bet you've never heard one, though, have you? That's because they stay awake, but out in the countryside, it's a rather different story. And you can sometimes scream can pierce even the brain, according to the sage Richard Phillips. Either way, if you ever see one screaming, do you have a... I'm sure the tale of Twin Blade is quite interesting, but... All right, then.
Do you think you'll get...
Twin Blade was once a great hero. A giant of a man, his swords were... But at the height of his fame, he abandoned the guild, deciding he had... And so, he left for the woods and became a bandit. Over the years, he united the feuding bandit clans until he became their king. He built a vast fortified camp hidden near Oakvale and plundered the past. He was as renowned and feared as he ever was, and now had no...
Sir, what happened to Twin Blade?
He still reigns as the bandit king in the forests of Oakvale, and some say...
Do you eat monsters, Sabre? The best hero.
Remember.
Shops are now closing!
Hello.
Ready to help? The tavern? Marvellous, isn't it?
Compliments of the deities.
Out of sugar. I hope I don't fall into a cup of tea.
Any I'm pleased to serve you.
My cousin.
Can I call you? How are you doing?
Swords, axes, shields, armor. Obey the law.
Ah, hello again. The hierarchy of weapons. Any books for the Book of Spells? The Book of
Question about him? Wow, you're so... Can I call you Sabre?
Orchard farm.